What's up, y'all? This is Jimmy coming to you guys with another review. Before we get into the video, as always, make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And when you guys hit subscribe, please make sure you guys are hitting that notification button. So getting right into it, I have a very long overdue review for you guys. I think this might be one of the first shoes I copped in December, November, I forget honestly. I think these came out in the middle of December, I believe. So this is definitely a long overdue review that a lot of people have already done videos for this shoe just because it was so popular. It wasn't necessarily super hyped, but it was a shoe that a lot of people are looking forward to. And you guys clicked on the video, you guys already know I will be reviewing the Air Jordan 11 Cool Grays. So a little backstory on this before I even show you guys the actual shoe. This was actually, I want to say either the first or the second pair of Air Jordans that I got in high school when I really started to grow and build my collection and become a true sneakerhead. I want to say these actually were the first just because these came out back then also in December, and that's when they came out in like that pull-out box and the plastic top and all of that. So it was either these or the white cement 3s that came out a month later in January. I honestly don't remember, but this is a pair of shoes that means so much to me. It holds this very special place in my heart. You know, this is kind of like the shoe that really started it all for me. Yeah, I had other sneakers growing up. You know, I can't say like these were the first pair of sneakers that I ever got because I was definitely into sneakers as a kid, but this was kind of like my first pair. You know, I was in like 9th grade, 10th grade, you know, wearing clothes, picking out your own clothes and dressing up really starts to become a thing for me. So it's kind of crazy. This is like low-key maybe the one shoe that started it all. So I will say to have the shoe in hand is very nostalgic. But enough of all that talking, getting right into the details of the shoe. Here is the box that the shoes come in. So not as special and unique as the box that the Air Jordan 11s used to come in with all the little packaging detail, but nonetheless, I actually think this is a pretty dope box as well, and it does more so resemble the OG packaging. The box consists of a pull-up top, which is the lighter gray. It reads Air Jordan with the Jumpman on top and has Nike Air on the sides. And then going down to the size tag reads Air Jordan 11 Retro. Colors are medium gray, multicolor, multi. These are a size 8, and I will say they fit pretty true to size. Suggested retail on these is $225, which is a big price jump from about 10 years ago, I want to say. I think they used to be, I don't know if they used to be 180 or 200, but I mean, really not too much considering there also is inflation. I do understand that as well. And the moment you all been waiting for, here are the shoes. Really amazing to have the shoe in hand, you guys. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but every time I look at this shoe, like, it just like brings me like a flashback. It's like holding something like a childhood piece, and you're just like, damn, like, this is crazy, because I remember all the outfits I used to wear with this shoe in high school in 9th grade. You know, and I think that is kind of like the amazing thing about sneakers, and especially like once you've been able to go through like a retro release where it becomes retroed again and you own the pair like 8-10 years ago, you know, which is kind of crazy to think because I still feel so young. But I got these when I was 14, 15, 16, and now I'm like 25, turning 26. So my life is completely different now. So crazy to just have this shoe in hand, look at it, and it really goes to show you what like these sneakers and what the whole sneaker culture is about. And I will say at a first glance, I know there have been some people kind of knocking the material of the shoe, and I will say it's not like the absolute best, but I think Jordan Brand actually did a pretty good job on this shoe when it comes to like the look, the color, the shape. Everything looks actually pretty on point. So getting into the outsole, you have that icy blue outsole, and I'm pretty sure the Cool Grays were the first shoe ever to really introduce that icy blue outsole, and I'm telling you guys, people absolutely hated it. You know, for the Cool Grays, it wasn't too bad because the shoe already kind of has like a blue tint to it, hence the name Cool Gray. But for shoes like the Carmines, you know, no one was a big fan of that blue tint. but eventually people just grew to learn to accept it. So icy blue sole, of course, you have your 2 gray pods, and then you have your carbon fiber shank plate with the Jumpman in the middle. And it's crazy because 10 years ago, you know, that's when fakes were very relevant. You know, you'd have people try to like use like I forgot what type of pen it was like a hot pen, and they would try to make the carbon fiber of the fakes feel real by adding some texture to it. I will say this one doesn't feel as texturized as the pairs I've felt in the past. But yeah, people were doing a bunch of crazy stuff to fakes back then just to try to make them look as real as possible, which is insane now considering like the fakes basically almost look one-to-one. And another thing to mention, this is a very random sidetrack. I don't know if you guys even care about this, but back in the day, another thing where you could notice where your shoes were fake or not was this toe cap right here. If it was see-through, at least for like the cool grays and the Concords that came out in like 2011, 2012, people thought if they were see-through, they were fake. So back then people were painting this, trying to make it like a milky color. So times have definitely changed a lot. You know, I think clearly that milky toe cap thing has been debunked, because I think that was just like a factory thing. I'm not too sure, but I do remember a lot of actual legit pairs having a see-through cap, but maybe my memory's a little bit jaded. And then moving on to the uppers, this is where, you know, the shoe gets its full cool gray name. You have your darker gray, darker hue patent leather right here. The cut is very high, very true to the OG model. I will say maybe the materials aren't as good as the 2011, 2010 pair, but I'm telling you guys, if you guys look at the shape of this shoe, the cut of the patent leather, it just looks so much better in my opinion. This is a shoe that just looks so timeless. Like, it's not one that necessarily fits with today's kind of like style, whether it's like super vintage, super distressed, kind of like that Americana, Japanese Americana look. But you know, this is a shoe that people are gonna love nonetheless. And then moving on up, you have that gray nubuck. Nubuck here, it does feel a little thin. You know, now that I do feel it, it doesn't feel like the absolute best. So I could imagine this is a pair where, you know, you're gonna put your foot on and this back portion is gonna crease horrendously after a couple wears. So if I were you and I was gonna wear this shoe, I would unlace the shoe quite a bit, even though it kind of is a hassle, you know, just always unlacing, relacing your shoes, just so you don't have to like squish your foot in there and then crease this portion. That's also really only if you care. If you guys don't care about creasing up your shoes, then I mean, so be it, just smush your foot in there. But this is for all of those that kind of like to preserve their shoes. And then on the back, you have your Jumpman stitched in white, and then you have your 2-3 on the back. Another thing, another old head fact, you know, just to tell you guys, is back then people used to try to line up the Jumpman, the ball that he was holding, to the middle of the 2-3. So that's how people would be able to tell whether they were fake or real. But back then, people were always trying to find ways to make their fakes look more authentic. So they would like, I forgot if they had like scratched this off, but then they would print a 2-3 and then paste it on there to kind of match the ball of the Jumpman. And then moving on to the last couple details of the shoe, you have the iconic Air Jordan 11 rope laces. You have your gray nubuck tongue with the middle portion right there stitched in that says Jumpman Jordan. But let me know down below in the comments, do you guys think these are a cop or a drop? What do you guys think about this shoe right here? Do you guys think Jordan Brand did this shoe justice? Personally, for myself, I think they did a pretty good job. You know, like, I think the color, the shape, the overall shoe isn't too bad at all. Like, I would give it like an 8 out of 10. So that's gonna wrap up the video, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.